The Copper Scroll, the treasure list. Nobody has cracked Hyde's 64 locations of gold and silver worth over $1 billion, yet not a single cache has ever been found. Tonight we walk out to a limestone cliff above the Dead Sea in the dry hills of Qumran. Late winter light lies gold along the rock. Behind you, the water sits flat and heavy and silver. An archaeologist is on his knees at the back of a cave, and his fingers close on something that does not belong. Not parchment, not papyrus, metal. 2 rolls of green corroded copper, hammered thin, sealed by 20 centuries of stillness. Every other scroll from these caves was written on skin or reed, soft things that rot and tear. This one was made to last. Copper does not decay the way skin and reed decay. It holds its shape and its message long after the hands that made it are gone. Someone wanted this to survive when everything around it turned to dust. And a question opens under your feet tonight that has never once been answered. Why would anyone carve a treasure list into copper and then leave it in the dark? A cave that will keep a plain museum name and a secret far larger than its number. The year is 1952. It is the 14th of March, and a team is clearing the back of a cave in the cliffs at Qumran, near the northern shore of the Dead Sea. They call it Cave 3. For 5 years, these hills have been giving up their secrets, one brittle fragment at a time, scraps of scripture wrapped in linen and hidden from the world. The workers know the routine now. Parchment and papyrus, soft and crumbling, the writing of a people who buried their holy words to save them. But this find is different. Pressed against the rock lie 2 rolls of copper, welded shut by rot, heavy and cold in the hand. No one here has seen anything like it among the scrolls. It will be given a plain museum name, 3Q15, the 15th text from the 3rd cave. A number for something that refuses to behave like anything else in the collection. And it will keep its silence for 3 more years. And copper, unlike skin or reed, was never used for a mere shopping list. It was chosen for words meant to survive the end of a world. The problem was simple and cruel. The copper had corroded so completely that it could no longer be unrolled. Bend it, and it would shatter like a burnt leaf. For 3 years it sat, a sealed message that no one could open without destroying it. Then, in 1955, the rolls were carried to the Manchester College of Technology in the north of England. There, an engineer named Wright Baker built a tiny circular saw and did the only thing that could work. He cut the scroll apart. Over months, he sliced it into 23 curved strips of metal, each one a thin slice of a sentence, laid out in order like the staves of a broken barrel. Only then could anyone read it. And when they did, the words made no sense as scripture. No prayer, no law, no psalm. It was a list, line after line of places, and buried at each place, treasure. A message that had waited 2,000 years, opened at last by a blade the width of a hair. 64 entries, 64 hiding places scattered across the Judean wilderness, from cisterns and tombs to aqueducts and the ruins of old fortresses. And beside each place, an amount. Gold, silver, vessels of tribute, sacred cups set aside for the temple. The very first line sets the tone. In the ruin that is in the valley of Achor, it says, "Under the steps facing east, dig 40 cubits, and there lies a chest of silver." Then another, then another. 63 of the 64 point to gold and silver, and 3 of them point to more scrolls, more hidden writing, waiting somewhere in the dark. Add the numbers up, and the total is staggering. More than 4,600 talents of precious metal. Some scholars have tried to weigh that in modern terms and reached figures like 26 tons of gold and 65 tons of silver. A king's ransom, carved into copper and given directions precise enough to follow. In theory, no one entry seems fanciful on its own. It is the sheer weight of them, stacked one upon another, that stops the breath. And here the scroll begins to work against us. Because the treasure is real on the page, exact to the cubit, and yet not one coin of it has ever surfaced. To understand why, you have to look not at what the list says, but at how it is written. The Hebrew is strange. It is not the careful, formal Hebrew of the scriptures that fill the other caves. It leans closer to the plain, spoken Hebrew of everyday life, the kind that would flower centuries later in the letters and rulings of ordinary people. The spelling wanders. Words are shortened, run together, set down the way a tired hand sets down speech rather than a copied text. This is not the work of a scribe lovingly reproducing a sacred book. It reads like someone writing quickly, practically catching words as they came. And then, scattered through the early columns, something even stranger appears. In the first columns, a handful of entries end with 2 or 3 Greek letters. Small clusters of foreign symbols dropped into the middle of a Hebrew text, meaning nothing anyone has been able to agree on. Some think they are the initials of names. Some think they are a code, a key held only by the people who buried the gold. Some think they are notes a copyist made to himself and never explained. No one knows. And that is the thread that changes everything about this hunt. Because taken together, the loose spelling, the everyday grammar, the stray Greek letters, they hint at something unsettling. This may not be an original document at all. It may be a copy made in a hurry, perhaps taken down by ear, from someone reading aloud or reciting from memory. And a person carving another person's words into metal does not always understand what he is carving. One man in a lamplit room, turning spoken words into permanent metal, one careful stroke at a time. So whose gold was it? The most powerful answer takes us to Jerusalem and to fire. In the year 70 of the Common Era, Roman legions closed around the city and burned the Second Temple to the ground. The temple was the richest institution in the land, holding not only its own treasures, but the tithes and offerings of a whole people. Many scholars believe the Copper Scroll is a hiding list, an inventory made in those last desperate seasons, when the keepers of the sanctuary scattered the sacred wealth into the wilderness ahead of the soldiers. Bury it. Record it, wait for the danger to pass. It would explain the copper, chosen to outlast war and weather. It would explain the tithing vessels and the priestly garments named among the entries. A civilization trying to save its holiest things by feeding them piece by piece to the desert, and then never coming back. A hiding place for a whole world's faith, entrusted to copper and to memory. But not everyone believes the gold was ever real. When the scroll was first studied, one of its earliest editors, the scholar Joseph Milik, argued that it was not an inventory at all. To him, it read like folklore, a legend of hidden riches, the kind of tale a community tells about lost treasure that never truly existed. The amounts, he thought, were simply too vast to be believed. Others pushed back hard. The entries are too dry, too specific, too full of ordinary place names to be a fable. Fables do not measure in cubits. This argument has never fully closed. To this day, historians remain divided on the simplest question of all, whether the Copper Scroll records treasure that was really buried or a treasure that lived only in the telling. And that uncertainty sits right on top of the other one, the strange, second-hand way the words were set down. Two possibilities, each unsettling in its own way, and no shovel yet has settled it. Whatever the truth, people have gone looking. In the early 1960s, John Allegro, one of the original team who first read the scroll, led an expedition into the Judean desert to test its directions on the ground. He dug at several of the sites the text seemed to describe. He found nothing. No chest of silver under the eastern steps, no vessels in the ruins. Since then, others have tried, with maps, with theories, with modern instruments, and the result has always been the same. Empty pits, empty cisterns, empty tombs. More than 70 years have passed since the copper came out of Cave 3, and of its 64 hiding places, not a single one has yielded its treasure. Not one coin. The most detailed treasure map from the ancient world lies open, fully translated, its every instruction laid bare, and still it defeats everyone who follows it. The desert simply swallows the searchers, one expedition after another, and gives nothing back. The reason may be heartbreakingly simple. The scroll gives directions, but it gives them to a world that no longer exists. Under the steps facing east, in the ruin in the valley, by the second aqueduct, at the tomb built of a certain course of stones. These were landmarks obvious to anyone standing there 2,000 years ago. A particular cistern everyone knew, a fortress wall that has since crumbled into indistinguishable rubble, a staircase long buried under sand and time. The writer never dreamed his readers would be strangers from a distant century, with no memory of the place. He was writing for neighbors, for people who only needed a nudge. And so the very precision that should guide us, 40 cubits, the eastern steps, betrays us instead. We have the measurements, we have lost the starting point. The map is exact, and the map is useless, both at once. A perfect set of instructions, addressed to no one who could still read them. Picture the searchers then, standing in a dry ravine at first light, the translated line in hand, reading 40 cubits under the steps, and turning slowly to find no steps anywhere. Just wind and stone and the long white glare of the desert. They dig where the words seem to point. They lower themselves into old cisterns. They sift the floors of ruined towers, and the ground gives back nothing but dust and the bones of animals. Every failed search only adds another layer to the mystery, because the failures do not disprove the treasure. They only prove how completely we have lost the thread. The gold, if it was ever there, is still out there. Or it was carried off long ago by hands we will never trace. Or it never existed, and we are chasing the echo of a story. 3 answers, and the desert will not say which. And so the ravine keeps its silence, and the searchers climb out empty-handed once more. And here is the quiet twist under all of it. We have treated the copper scroll as a map and blamed ourselves for failing to read it. But look again at how it was made, the wandering spelling, the everyday grammar, the stray Greek letters no one can explain. All of it points the same way, to a copy taken down quickly, perhaps by ear, from words spoken aloud, which means the flaw may not be in our searching. It may be in the scroll itself. The scribe may not have understood his own list. A place name misheard, a number slightly off, a direction copied without knowing what it described, and the whole trail bends away from the gold forever. We have been searching for a lost treasure. We may really be searching for a lost sentence, mangled in the moment it was carved. The most enduring text of the ancient world may be a beautiful, incurable mistake. We may have spent 70 years decoding a mistake, faithfully preserved in gold-worthy metal. So the copper keeps its list, and the desert keeps its steps, and the two no longer speak to each other. 64 places, gold and silver by the ton. A fortune written down so carefully that it was carved into metal, and hidden so well that it has never once been found. Tonight the same cliffs stand over the same still water, holding a message written to outlast us all, faithfully, in a hand that may never have known what it meant. The gold may lie 40 cubits down, beneath steps that turned to sand 1,000 years ago. Or it may be nothing but a rumor, poured into copper and buried in the quiet. The treasure waits, or it doesn't. The copper does not care. It was only ever the echo of a voice, cut into metal and left in the dark to be misread. 64 secrets, and the desert still keeps every one of them.